guys, this will be my first video of many that I will try to make for Atelier Dreams. I am here to introduce to you my new stamp line, which will feature this first set called Art Journaling. This was my first set that I've ever really created for the Hobonichi, and I've hand carved them and everything like that, and a lot of people asked me if I will ever sell them, and I decided that I do want to sell them, but it took me a long time to hand carve everything, so I'll try a different method, which is creating clear stamps and just producing them so they're more affordable for a lot of people instead of hand carving them, because it takes me a really long time to hand carve them. This first set that I've produced and designed myself is called Art Journaling, and I went through a lot of trial and error before I came up with this complete set. I had to take away the art palette. There was a pair of scissors, an oiled or acrylic paint tube. I took that out, and I think that's it that I took out, because it replaced these two items right here. So I'll just go over them real quick, and this is not exactly how it will come. This is just a sample of what I received, and it will look a little bit different because this is not the final packaging or anything like that, but this is just a mock-up of what the back would look like and the front insert. And it will have point of sale packaging, which is a hanging bag. It'll come with that. And let's see, the first, it's a little dirty because I've already used it and stamped it a couple times already. And right here is just scrap paper, which is Tomigawa paper, which is exactly the same thing as what's inside the Hobonichi book, Tomigawa river paper, okay? So the exact same thing, so I'm going to use that instead of putting it into my notebook. And I will show you a couple samples of things to come. So the first one is, let's just show it like this so it's easier. Is the Hobonichi, of course. A plain white piece of paper, a Molden, a Filofaxes. That was my very first planner ever, so I had to make a stamp for it, of course, right? Why not? And of course, no, who doesn't like coffee and beans? And then I decided to switch this out because a lot of people like to use watercolor for their Hobonichi. And a lot of planner users do like to use watercolor because it's more affordable, it's more portable, and people like that translucent and very flowy feeling to the drawings. So it's more artistic, even though you're not really artistic, because I'm not actually really that artistic. You might think differently, but honestly, it takes a while sometimes. So I have a coffee cup instead of just regular, it could be tea. This one is just a regular like to-go cup, I guess. Some steam, I don't know. I just thought it was really cute to go with that. And then a little Happy Mail, that can be a Happy Mail. Paper clip, because who doesn't use paper clip? And then of course, I did not want to get, you know, does that look familiar? Yeah, that's what I thought. So I thought that would really go with a modern usage of planners. And my favorite eraser, which is the orange and black eraser, I forgot which brand it was. But I think a lot of people know that eraser, so I figured why not add a staple of what we use. And then a paintbrush, it could be either for acrylic or anything, or watercolor, of course. And then a fountain pen. I made a lot of generic items because I figured like it's easier for people to recognize, and next set, I think I would try more of a more artistic style, more of how I personally would probably draw them. This is more just generic, cleaner shapes, so a lot of people can use them for not just for their planners, they can use it for card making or anything else like that. And of course, a ruler. So let me just show you a couple samples that I've already worked on. It would be just easier for me to just show it. These are just, this is actually a sticker I made. They're a lot, not to scale or anything like that, so it's a little bit smaller. See if you can tell, it's a little bit tinier. But it's just an idea of what you can use them for. And you can also write notes on it. And let's see if I have a picture. Video right there for a envelope Happy Mail. And then I also did a stamp, which is the Hobonichi. I made it really light and I used a dye-based ink, and it did not actually bleed through. This is Acrylic. If you're wondering, Acrylic inserts, if you're wondering which insert that is. So that's the sample. I also have another example in my big A5 Hobonichi. Let's see, I'm going to show this later for the next set. So let's just cover that up for now so it won't confuse anybody. So this is some of the samples of the stamps that I made, inking it using these are pigment, and you can really see any kind of bleed through or anything like that, so it's not actually that bad. But if you use dye-based ink, it will bleed through. It will. So you do not want to use that unless you don't mind the bleeding through. Some people like it, some people don't, but I think a majority of people do not. So I'm going to go through quickly how to stamp with my stamps. And a lot of people always ask questions. How to stamp. Let's go over how to stamp using clear stamps with an acrylic block and some inks. So right now I am stamping on a Ranger craft sheet, which is easy to work with because you can wash it up, you can wipe it down, and it is also heat proof. I am going to be stamping on a stack of paper, which is actually a sketch notebook, a really big sketch notebook. And I like to use a stack of paper because it's more forgiving than like hard desk or any kind of hard surfaces, which doesn't necessarily give a good impression. You also don't want it too soft because when it's too soft it smudges easily. So any stack of paper works just fine. You don't need anything that extreme. So my favorite inks is VersaFine. This is one of my favorite because I use it a lot for card making. It is waterproof. You don't even have to really heat set it, but it will become pretty much permanent and waterproof. And then this is everyone's favorite to use. Also my favorite is Chalk Ink by VersaMagic. It is chalk ink. It has a very soft matte look and also a chalky powdery finish. This one is the VersaCraft, which is perfect for fabric, paper, wood, and many more. It will be kind of permanent. It's archival and acid-free once you heat set it. So you have to heat set it. Okay, so I don't necessarily want to use black, and I'm not going to go through too much of details because there are videos out there that compare more of everything that's going on. So I'm just going to give you a generic thing. Right now I'll just take, of course, my Hobonichi stamp, and it won't come taped like this. The reason why I tape it like this because I always lose this. So the best way to do is just easily swing. So you just flip it and then you will not lose this piece of acetate paper at all. And then you will always have it with you. So the best way is just flip it over, put a tape, piece of duct tape after. Once it comes like this, you just duct tape it, not duct tape it, clear tape it right here, and then it becomes a folder. So it's like perfect. So now we will take this, we just gently peel it, okay, and it looks just like this. So sometimes it gets a little stretched and warped. The best way for me, I find, is to just drop it, okay? And then you just take your acrylic block and just press onto it, and then you get the perfect form. Because this works really well. This technique works really well, especially if you have more like thinner, fragile items. Maybe not necessarily like a paintbrush or anything like that. See how it's more flimsy? Sometimes if you put it in, you might accidentally, for example, warp the. If you want to do it like that, that's fine. But sometimes it does happen. And if you don't want that to happen, the best way is just to take the stamp, drop it, and put your acrylic block, and you get a straight line all the time. Okay? So that is the perfect way for me to do it. So let's just put this back. I will actually use Versa Magic Spring Pansy. Let's try it out. So the best way for me, I don't actually go here because I like to control where I put my ink. So the best way for me to do it, I find it to use it this way. So you just blot it. I don't know if you can see it, but you just blot it like that. Okay, and then that's about it. And it's pretty much inked up. Just make sure you cover that back up. And I always cover it like this because chopped here, you get out better. So now you just take it and we just stamp. And to make sure you make a really good impression. And there you go. That is your perfect impression. Right there. Okay? And then the best way is I like to use any kind of baby wipes. The only reason I'm using this is because this is what I have handy. This is a really old pack. I've had it for years. And I don't know why I had it for years. I don't use it much, I guess. So I just wipe it down. That's it. Just wipe it. And there's other ways to use it. I use it sometimes. I like to clean my stamp once in a while, like just do a full cleaning, which I use sometimes. I just submerge it in warm Luke dishwashing detergent or something like that, and just clean it, and it works really well. So and now I just wait for it to dry a little, and we just put this to the side and reuse it. So now it's all clean and ready for the next color. I will use. The next color is the Versacraft, which is a pale lilac. That's the closest color I have to the Spring Pansy for Versa Magic. So I'm gonna do this again. Just remember, the Japanese like to say it pa 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 pa, pom 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 pom. So you just do pom 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 pom, and that's it. Okay. That is the Versacraft Pale Lilac. And then I just make an impression the same way. I like to do this because I like to make sure I get every single edge. And there you go, the perfect impression again. And you see how all the images are very sharp and clean. So that is the key thing. Alright, so I'm going to clean this one up before I return it back to its home. Hand drying it, but you can use a microfiber. I don't know where my microfiber is, so I'm going to just peel this off and put it back. Okay, I'm going to just show you one more, which is my favorite. It is the mechanical pencil. The next stamp from this set I will show you is the mechanical pencil. I will do the same thing that I told you before, and now how about we try some green? So I am going to use the Versa Magic key line and the Versa Color line. So those are the closest two colors that I have with these stamp sets. So let's go with the Versa Magic, which is the chalk ink. Pa-pa-pa. And that's enough ink. We will stamp it now. The thing is, sometimes this ink is so light you can't even see it. But there it is. You can see it a little, okay? And I might try it again with a different one, just so you can see it better. And then I will use, I have to wait for this to dry, the line from the first color. And then we will stamp it just like any way you want. So try not to rock your stamp pad if you can. Okay? So there we go. And this is the same Tomogawa River paper. Tomogawa is the same paper as your Hobonichi. So I was talking about how this, I don't like this Michaels brand because it's really sharp and it kind of hurts my hand when I'm holding it. So I really like these blocks. If you can find them, you will find them at Michaels or at Joann. I think one of the sets is a recollection set, which is Michaels brand, and then this one is Inga-Dinga-Doo, I believe. And this is a lot thicker and bigger, so you can use that. I like to use this small one for my other stamp set. You will see that. Let me just show you a quick inking of this set, which is the original set. I will show that real quick in my A6 Hobonichi, just to show you what it looks like once it's been colored in and stamped again and again in darker images. So you see the colors and all the details. And like I said, I inked this with the VersaFine. This first gen, there's barely any bleeding. There is a little bit of ghosting, but there's some bleeding. But if you first gen it, this is what it will look like. So unless you don't mind that, then go for it. There's some bleeding right there. So try not to use VersaFine if it really bothers you. But I really like that ink for card making. And then you can color it in like this. And I'm using, for this page right here, I used the Peerless watercolor. So that's it for this stamp set. I hope you enjoy, and if you haven't pre-ordered yet, please do so. There are a limited amount of supplies, and depending on its popularity, it might